YTBC, what's the deal? Now, we know that Vladimir Klitschko obviously lost his title last November to Tyson Fury, but my question to the fans out there, people listen to my channel, do you think that the Klitschko era is finally over? And obviously he lost his title, but they're supposed to have a rematch coming up here. Obviously he can win and get the glory back, but I'm listening to fighters give their opinions about, the rematch, possible rematch between Vladimir and Tyson Fury, and everybody I listen to they're all picking Fury. Charles Martin just came out today and was giving his opinion about it on Boxing Scene. He's picking Fury. I've heard a lot of guys pick Fury in the rematch. And I guess that's easy, being that you've seen Tyson Fury beat him. With me, it's not so much that he beat him the first time, although that does sway my judgment about the rematch, obviously. But it's the way he beat him. And some people are saying, oh, Vladimir's going to come in and fight a different fight. It's like, what different fight? He fought a Vladimir Klitschko fight. Now, could he have thrown more punches? Obviously, he could have thrown more punches. I would like to see him throw that jab, left hook. When he jabs off his hook, I didn't really see that. I really didn't see him let go of that right hand enough. He just wanted to grab, but that's what he's good at, and that's what he's been getting victories doing. So now all of a sudden, we're trying to make this guy that's going into his 40s, how old is Vladimir? 40, 39? We're trying to make him fight a whole different fight at this stage of his career. Could he mentally bite down on his mouthpiece and, say, I'm fighting a different fight, I'm going to go out on my shield? He could, but that doesn't seem like his personality. He's a laid-back guy. He likes to be in control. And when he's not in control in the ring, he just likes to grab. It is what it is. I mean, he's still an excellent fighter. Still, he held it down for damn near a decade. There's no way to overlook that or to, scoff at that. But at the same time, you get older, man. Everybody's not Big George Foreman. Everybody doesn't stick around to their 46, 47. Just all fighters aren't the same. Just like all fighters can't do what Vladimir did as far as reigning for that long of a period of time, so everybody has the different ways that they do things. Guys going into their late 40s trying to fight like Big George doesn't mean you're going to have success of George Foreman. But do I think Vladimir is capable of beating Tyson Fury? Yeah, I think he's capable, but I just think the Klitschko era is over. Even when you hear these other guys talk, their vernacular, everything is just different. Nobody's saying, when they hear Klitschko, nobody's in fear. Not to say guys are saying, I'm scared of Klitschko, but guys will give him a lot of credit. They may think that a fight between them and Klitschko is 50-50, something like that. That type of mindset. Now, nobody's going to be in fear of Vladimir Klitschko. That's gone. Not that Vladimir Klitschko needed that to scare anybody. He wasn't a guy that came in and tried to impose fear and try to stare you down at the, press conference and make you scared of him. Now, he had a cold look on his face, but it wasn't to intimidate you, the way Iron Mike used to do, or Sonny Liston, or George Foreman. It's not that. He wasn't that type of fighter. I just think these young guys, man, they're looking at him like the old guy. They want to get in there and rough the old guy up. Even if some of these guys are around his same age, but some of these younger fighters that are coming up that I'm seeing in the heavyweight division, I think that the Vladimir Klitschko era, the Klitschko era, is officially over. I think it's officially over. And I'm not counting him out in the rematch. Anything can happen, especially if he lands a clean right hand on Fury and he doesn't see it coming. Anything can happen. That left hook is powerful, the right hand, but he doesn't do it enough. He doesn't do it often enough. I just think he's set in his ways, and I know you guys don't want to hear this, some of you Vlad fans, but it's just my opinion, and I think it's the truth. He's a different fighter without Emmanuel Steward, man. He's just, Emmanuel would have been pushing him to do other things in that Fury fight that his corner, and no disrespect to Jonathan Banks, but he's no Emmanuel Steward. There's only one Emmanuel Steward, man. I'm pretty sure Banks will tell you that himself. Shit, he got trained by Steward. There's only one Steward, his motivational tactics. And I'm not expecting Banks to try to be Steward, but what I'm saying is it took Emmanuel Steward to really get across to Vladimir Klitschko, a la the way Lennox Lewis, That's just my opinion, is what I think. I'm not saying Vladimir's lost without Steward, but I just think that extra motivation, that extra eye in the corner that sees certain things that some of these other trainers just probably don't see. No disrespect to Ali Bashir and the guys around him, but I do truly think Emmanuel Steward, there's only one Emmanuel Steward. And the way he would get across to guys like Lennox, when he would get Lennox facing, chew him out when he had to, as far as using your jab, be the big man in there, step forward, or, it's like Vladimir's just in control of his situation. Yes, Jonathan Banks was telling him things, but he wasn't getting across to him. Now, what happens around 4, 5, and 6, and the fight looks like a damn replay of the last fight? What is Vladimir going to go for broke? When has Vladimir ever went for broke? I mean, it took, again, Emmanuel Steward to get through to him to finish off Eddie Chambers. Vladimir would have just coasted to a 12-round decision. When Lennox was in there with Mike Tyson, looked like Lennox was going to be content. Now, he was landing some shots on Mike, but it damn near looked like he was going to be content just to win the 12-round dominant decision. It was Stewart saying, hey, man, you got a dead man in front of you. Knock him out. So I think the Klitschko era is over. You guys let me know what you think. Just a different perspective on it. There's a lot of things I'm leaving out, obviously, but this is just my take on it. Just looking at it from this, I just don't think he can fight a different fight against anybody, not just Tyson Fury. If he doesn't land a right hand that puts you down and put you to sleep, or a left hook, something powerful, he's content at this stage. And some of you may say he was always like this, but to me, he was a little bit more offensive minded with Stewart, but he's content with landing one shot and grabbing. And I don't think that shit's going to work anymore. I think these guys are going to be a little bit stronger than him on the inside. They're going to try to rough up the old guy on the inside. Vladimir, like I said, he looked a little haggard in that Jennings fight. He didn't seem as strong as I've seen him before. And Fury was able to control Vladimir in a clinch, which I didn't think anybody would be able to do in the current era heavyweights. I just thought Vladimir was the strongest guy inside as far as wrapping guys up. Nobody seems to get out that vice grip hold of his, but Tyson Fury was able to do it pretty easily. It's just my opinion on this. You guys let me know what you think. YTBC. I'm out.